Hi, Jane. Welcome to Bilgi.
Hello, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much for coming. I understand that you're giving us a talk later.
Yeah, I'm talking about how we need to move from being language teachers to being culture coaches.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to hearing that. What do you think so far of your experience here at Bilgi?
It's a beautiful campus. It's very exciting seeing so many people full of energy, so many young people. It gives me hope for the future. And I haven't had a chance to attend any sessions yet, but I'm looking forward to doing so.
Great. Well, I just want to ask you a couple of questions. Okay, so Jane, let's talk about your talk that you are doing this afternoon.
Yeah.
You are focusing on the role of teachers as kind of communication and culture coaches in a way in the classroom.
Yes.
I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit about the institutional viability of that and how, whether you think that institutions are ready to embrace that and how they can encourage that.
I don't know if institutions are ready, but I think they're going to have to embrace it and encourage it. If we're moving into an era of English as medium of instruction in higher ed globally, then we're moving into a period when we're not going to be able to expect high levels of English proficiency. We've always been unrealistic about our expectations, I think, in terms of expecting native competence, linguistic native competence. Even though we've talked about discourse competence, cultural competence, social competence, etc., when we teach, we mostly focus on linguistic competence. And I think we're in a time when we have to move away a little bit from accuracy, 100% accuracy, and start teaching systems and start differentiating between English and English for people in this discipline, or English for people in the tourist industry, or English for people who want to teach English. Clearly, there are very different needs. Some English users are really interested in the language. Most aren't. They're using the language for utilitarian purposes. And so I think we need to be cognizant of that and change our attitudes towards their acquisition of the language and culture.
Okay. And then just one quick follow-up to that. In terms of teachers sort of changing their roles and becoming almost coach-like, can you just describe that a little bit more for our listeners, what that might mean?
Well, generally we think of a coaching role as monitoring, giving feedback on some kinds of activities. So I think clearly if we're coaches, we'll be within an activity-based environment. There'll be rules. There are always rules in games, so the rules will refer to the cultural norms of the communication. We'll be explicit about how we teach them. We'll diagram things the way soccer coaches or football coaches diagram plays. We'll talk about the plays. And from the linguistic point of view, we'll deal with the kind of language that's expected within those plays or those systems.
It sounds amazing and interesting. Thank you so much for doing this interview and for joining us at Bilgi today.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.